Here in the ministry, we have quite a few people scattered across the United States of America that is involved in the legal profession, i.e. meaning lawyers, attorneys, even a few doctors. The Supreme Court is now getting ready to hear and rule on gay marriage. We're going to find out if this country is going to hear the plea and the cry of these people of an alternate conscience concerning the 14th Amendment in the Constitution. I'm Army Airborne. I usually keep on my desk at all times, believe it or not. First of all, number one, I keep first and foremost the scriptures, because this is my personal supreme law of my home, my heart, and my land. And the laws of the state, the laws of the federal government, the laws, even including all this, is secondary compared to this. This is the way I live. I live like this. However, I realize that I'm a stranger and pilgrim in this foreign land, and I'm just passing through. And I realize that there are things we're going to have to deal with in this world. And I want y'all to listen to me very closely, okay? It's obvious when you read this book that everybody is not going to make it to the kingdom of Shemaim, or the kingdom of heaven. It's obvious. And most people are really truly not interested in making it, whether you believe it or not. So we've always had in the history of mankind pagan cultures. And America is probably the strongest delusion and the most pagan, satanic culture with its religion of Christianity in the history of mankind. And immediately, most of you people who are uninformed, who haven't been listening to me, you're going to rush to judgment, pass judgment, and that's your prerogative. That's what you do anyway. I'm a pastor, and let me tell you this, a very informed pastor. I'm very familiar not only with the laws and the scriptures, first and foremost. I'm also familiar with these documents right here that should be the law of the land. And I'm seeing over and over and over again, especially, I understand discrimination on all levels. I dealt with discrimination growing up. I dealt with discrimination when I got out of the military, and only to come back. It's actually disheartening to think that I was such a fool, along with other veterans, that we had it in our heart and mind that we were defending this country from all enemies, foreign and domestic, only come to be let down very hard, like a 2-ton heavy stick, that we were actually fighting for the powers that be, the financial elite, the corporations of the United States of America, and not in the best interest of this country. So therefore, I don't have a lick of confidence in this country, none whatsoever at all. Personally, I don't care what the Supreme Court rules. All 9 of them, they can rule and whatever, say and come whatever the hell the vote they want to, because it has no bearing on me at all, since my Supreme Court is this right here. The scriptures. That's my Supreme Court. I'm not even worried too much about this, because I know what that says. While I also understand that I have my feet on this ground, that it's important for you and I to know what's written down. And most of you don't know what this is. It is called the Constitution of the United States. I keep it on my desk. And here's the Declaration of Independence, because sometimes, I can't quote it verbatim, but I'm pretty familiar with it. And I'm familiar with the way I see people, especially in government. And government is supposed to be our servants. And not us, them. They serve us. Not we serve them. And when I see things start to go awry and things start to go the wrong way, it's obvious when you are well informed. And that's what we are not today, is well informed. Now, personally, I know that America is a pagan, heathen, satanic culture. And whether you people like it or not, you're not going to do nothing about people who want to practice gay marriage. First of all, number one, marriage is only defined from the Hebrew scriptures, period. Most of you people say, well, I'm going to get married. I'm going to show you something. If you would just listen to me for a second, I am going to try my best to show you something. I'm not so sure if you want to hear it, because people who bear witness to the truth have become great enemies of people who love to believe lies. And I realize it, because, man, I've never, ever been in the fight of my life before until I started actually obeying what this scripture said right here, these scriptures. Man, I tell you what, but it's been a blessing for my soul. It's made me the man that I am today. But I'm going to go ahead and say this. Many of you, first of all, America champions itself as following the Hebrew scriptures. Don't fall for this Jewish, this Christianity, all these other pagan religion stuff. There's no laws in this Bible written to Christians. If you don't believe me, go check it out. There are no laws written to Jews in this Bible. You don't believe me? Go check it out. I know what they tell you about the Jews today, but you need to read this book. These laws, these statutes and commandments were written to Hebrews. They were Israelites. You need to learn when people are writing something down on a document. You need to know when you're being deceived. Most of you don't know when you're being deceived. Most of you accept hook, line, and sinker whatever people say and whatever people write. If it's written down, it's over with. You believe it. You believe it. But I believe in improving and testing all things. You people believe out there because of your culture, the way you've been reared and raised. I know how you believe, because I used to be part of that same culture. You people believe marriage is, and you hear people say this over and over again, I'm going to get married. I'm going to get married. I'm going to get married. And then you go and you watch these people go to the church, a church building. I could go on all day long, which if you understood the meaning of the word church, which means assembly, you understand that the building is not the church. But your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. Anyway, I'm not going to get into preaching because it's just too strenuous trying to talk to people who do not know what the law says. But you're under the auspice of when you get married. I'm going to get married. That's what you have learned to say, and that's how you talk. You think that getting married is standing in front of a preacher who opens up this book right here, the Bible, turns in the middle somewhere, and he begins to read, "Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today under God to join together in holy matrimony, such and such and so and so." And then they go on and ask a series of questions. And I read this book. It ain't in there. Hey, if I was to ask you people out there, define for me marriage. Now, I know you have your state that tells you what marriage is. But remember, it originated from here. You can't, 99% of you can't tell me what marriage is, so I'm going to tell you what it is, all right? So, many of you believe that when you go stand in front of a preacher who is lying to you under the auspice of religion, because he looks like a religious relic, that he's reading out of the Bible that says something, because the Bible does not have one instruction telling you what look at this, secular, like you believe, marriage is. You believe marriage is going to a tabernacle, chapel, or justice, or broom closet, or who knows what. And somebody saying a few words over you, and they say, I now pronounce you man and wife, and because they say, by the power invested in me by the state of Tennessee, by the state of Michigan, by the state of Georgia. Who's giving the power? It ain't Yahweh, is it? It ain't, is it? So you assume that when you put these rings on, which comes from another pagan satanic source, you assume that you're married. Again, there's no instructions in here that tells you how to carry on a marriage ceremony. And yet you people are arguing all over about being married. What you people are attending is a wedding. Most of you have already been married before the wedding. All you have to do is go read the Torah. It tells you exactly what happens. When a man goes into a woman, that's what this book defines as marriage. That woman becomes your wife. No marriage ceremony. No do you agree, do you not agree. No, none of that. When you go in to have sex, you have made that woman your wife. And I like to get some of you people out there that's got nice, big, gigantic churches. I would love for you to get your pastors. I will come and even be civil. I would love for you to get your pastors and ask them, what is marriage all about? And then he tells you, and you tell him Pastor Dow disagrees with him. Have him to invite me to their church where we can have a civil discussion and debate. Now, I'm telling you this because I'm telling you right now they're not going to do it. Because the last thing a man of y'all wants to do is to say he's sorry for deceiving and lying to you people. So you can forget about it. Ain't going to happen. But if you go do your own independent research and study, you will find out that I have told you the truth. There's nowhere in this Bible that tells you how to get married. There's no marriage ceremony. Not in this whole book. Not in the whole of it. And I dare you to find it. So, I don't know why, if you're looking for gay rights, you got to go secular. You got to go to the state because this is where people, because 2 men and 2 women, according to this, it's an abomination if you are Hebrew and you're an Israelite. If you're a pagan of other cultures, this don't make it don't mean nothing to you anyway. But if you're going to operate under this right here, then you can go ahead. Men on men, women on women. It don't make no difference. But I know one thing. Why are you people seeking a right to get married when you've already been practicing and doing the practice all this time anyway? I mean, what are you doing? You're looking for somebody to say, recognize you? You're looking for state recognition, right? That's what it is, basically, right? What do you care? You still been living that way anyway. And I told you, I'm going to say it again to all you people who can't stand the truth. Polygyny is a biblical lifestyle. Nowhere in the whole of this Bible does it condemn the practice of polygyny or a man having more than one wife. I dare you to look it up. And not only that, if you got preachers and teachers out there that disagree with me, tell them I'll be more than happy to come on an open vineyard. It can be a hostile environment where people totally disagree. Makes no difference to me. I'll tell you, you watch and see. Whoo-wee! Boy. The one thing about the truth that it does, it will set you free. But see, most of you people, you don't want to hear this because it's too painful. Can't stand the truth. Remember, truth always sets free. A lot of binds. But gay marriage is going to open the door to all forms of relations. Homosexual, lesbian, transgender, gay, whatever they call it. Once the Supreme Court passes, listen to what I said. Once the Supreme Court passes, listen to what I said. Once they pass that a man has a right to marry a man according to their secular declarations. Now, Pastor Dow totally disagrees with it because this Bible says that that type of lifestyle is an abomination. That's what it says. But most of you people, it's sad. It's sad. It really, truly sad. I'm going to leave it at that. Because 37 states already, and the union has already made sure that gay people can get married. Whew. I'm so glad I've come out of her. And I'm telling you, who I never thought in my life we see what's taking place in this world today. The decline is on. We're spiritually bankrupt. We are morally decayed. We have sincerely lost our way. That's why I say, for those of you who are believers in this book, best thing you can do is come out of her. That's just like, the Christians in this country. They got mad because the Wiccans and the witches, the warlocks and the Satanists and all of them started rising up. And then they turned around and used your secular constitution and Bill of Rights to prove they got freedom of religion. And ain't nothing you can do about it. But see, because most of you people thought that this country was founded upon, this is what you say, Christian principles. There are no laws, no statutes, and no commandments in this book that is Christian. Not a one. Again, you need to learn how to look behind the words. You see, this is translated and written to us in English. But the Old Testament, from Genesis to the last book of the Apocrypha, or Genesis to Malachi, is Hebrew. So you'll see an English word. You need to look behind what they say in English, see what the Hebrew word is, and you're going to find out that a lot of times when these people translate it, I call them translators. Well, a lot of times you find out when these people translated this book right here, they had an agenda. They were putting forth their Roman Catholic, Greco-Roman, 325 AD Constantine Christian perspective. A religion that this Bible never ever talks about. And so when they put pen to it, I call it penmanship. They have presented the scriptures in a total different light. And if you're uninformed, and if you refuse to do your own study and do your own due diligence, you're going to remain in that mindset of being deceived because it's a strong delusion. You get to the New Testament, Matthew to Revelations, it's written in Greek. That means things are presented to you because the translators gave you the English of what they thought the Greek might meant. But when you go look up the Greek word, you're going to find out there's many ways and many things that you believe in this Bible because it's been taught to you from a Christian perspective. Mind you, you've been looking through these lenses right here. And your vision is impaired because you look through these lenses. But when you remove all the dust and all the coloring and everything else out of it, and you are able to see clear, you can see real clear and look through these lenses, and you go, oh my God, look at that. Did you read that? That thing says something totally different than what they're telling us it said and what this country preaches and teaches. Do you know there's not one instruction in the whole of this book right here, the Bible right here? Not one instruction in here that tells us to celebrate Christmas or Sunday or Easter. Yet and still, why in the hell are we doing it then? What is or what are Christian principles? That is what needs to be defined. I'm telling you. Some of you people, go read Jeremiah 10 and see what it says about the Christmas tree, man. The prophet Jeremiah, boy, he let them have it. Man, he let them have it. Well, I hope I said something to stimulate thought. I really, truly, believe it or not, I love the truth. I'm a man of truth. I really truly am. These gays, the homosexuals, lesbians, transgenders, bisexuals, both ways, down lows, whatever you want to call them. They don't disturb me at all because I live so far out. I do. And on my land, there's going to be holiness unto y'all. That's just the way it's always going to be with us. Our children are not going to grow up in a state of confusion because y'all is not the author of confusion. So world, hey, have it your way. And they're having it their way too. And you people who seem to be conservative or on the right and stuff, boy, the left is whooping your ass, ain't they? I'm telling you, if you are an Israelite, you better come out of her. You better come out. Because if you don't come out, your children are going to start thinking just like the people that they're surrounded by, their peers. Whew. It's confusion. It really truly is. And check it out. Obama, first gay president. Did you hear that? You can go read all over the place. Obama, first gay president. I think there's a lot of reevaluating that people need to do. I'm telling you. But the Supreme Court will rule on gay marriage, and they will pass it, and it will be legal all across this land, opening wide open the door for all other forms of marriage. Remember, you heard it here. Straightway truth, Pastor Dow. That is the truth. And that's the true straight way.